All right. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
We are doing some impromptu reading sprints, it feels like, because I did not announce them until today. Uh, Even though I knew earlier in the week when they were going to be, I just somehow did not get up the announcement. I really don't know where my head was at. But I also thought this was only the second week in August. And then I looked at the date this morning and I realized it was the 18th of August. I just am no longer tracking the passage of time. I don't really know. But welcome. We're glad you're here. We've been doing reading sprints for almost a year now.
Wow. That's amazing.
Almost a year. So tonight we're doing them again. So I'm sure you all know Christy by this point, but do you want to
Hi.
introduce yourself, Christy?
Sure. I'm so excited. The first three comments that popped up are all friends. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Welcome.
We know everybody in
Um,
the chat so far.
yes. So you all know me. I'm Christy Lewis from Dostoevsky in Space. And yeah, I'm just friends with Jenny. Excited to be reading. Don't know what I'm going to read yet, but I like to read widely of different genres. That's about all I can say lately.
And yeah, I know what you
There's
mean.
no trend.
No, there's not for me either. I feel like this has been a weird summer, and I feel like everyone has said that on BookTube, but they just don't know what they're into anymore. So I feel all over the place. But let us know in the comments what you're going to be reading tonight. What are you going to read, Christy? Do you know? Well, you just said you don't know, but I know we always have multiple options.
Yes. I do have multiple options. Okay, let me grab a couple. So, probably the responsible thing would be start reading Bleak House again. Because I didn't actually complete our last section. So, I need to catch up in that. But I also just got The Moon Spinners by Mary Stewart, and I kind of want to just read that instead. We'll see. We'll see. How
I
about
love
you?
I love the title, The Moon Spinners.
Right?
That's so
It's
quaint.
yes. It sounds adventurous. How about you?
I am in the middle of, I don't have the cover on it, Immortal Longings by Chloe
Ooh,
Gong, which is her
nice.
newest book, and it's a retelling of Antony and Cleopatra, but it's set in like a Hong Kong style
Mm.
world, like the walled city. And that's
Mm.
been really interesting so far, but it's like very hard to wrap your mind around the magic system. So I also have a couple of things on my Kindle that I might read. I have a T. Kingfisher retelling of a fairy tale. So I
Nice.
have options.
You are on a roll with T. Kingfisher. Let's hope this one's a good one.
Yes, it feels like it's up and down with her. So like some
Mm.
things I love 5 stars and some things just not for me, which is good for her that she writes so much that's so different.
Yeah, probably keeps her invested and excited.
Yes,
You can tell when an author's bored, honestly.
that's true. Oh, Penny is reading Daughter of the Empire.
Ooh, nice. I need to look that up.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I've DNF'd Barchester Towers before because I got bored.
Tiffany kind of was bored with it too. I think she gave it an okay rating, but she was kind of bored most of the way through.
I feel like you need to be in the mood for those and like it's like a gentle, calm, not very exciting mood for that series to me. Oh, a poetry collection. That'll be
Ooh.
fun. You'll probably finish it in these sprints. I love
Yeah.
that. I love when you get to finish something on a sprint.
Hmm. Is that for an awards list, Tony? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, it could be. Oh, Penny's going to read Barchester next
Oh.
month. I have heard Dr. Thorne is the best.
Ooh, really?
And that's why I wanted to get through Barchester Towers to read Dr. Thorne, but I just couldn't do
Okay.
it. It might just have been the wrong time.
Oh, that's brutal. I usually don't think of classics being in series where you just have to like get through a classic book. That's kind of a bummer. But because his is in a series, so
Yeah, and it seems like they're all connected. Like it might be kind of loosely connected, but you
mm.
do need to read them in order, is what I've heard. I know nothing
Ooh.
about them, but some people read Dr. Thorne by itself.
Mhm.
I don't know
Mhm.
if that would be confusing or if that like spoils the rest of the series, the earlier books.
I need to find a video now talking about what order.
Stephanie, I feel like you would love T. Kingfisher. Certain ones, knowing what you like in fantasy, you should try some of her fantasy stuff. I feel like you would really like it. Her voice is very cozy.
Ooh.
Like just the way she writes is very nostalgic kind of to me.
Mhm.
Oh, I've
What
never
do
heard
you
of this, Anne. Tinkers by Paul Harding. I'm gonna have to look this up.
I know I'm over here looking up everything.
We always get so many book recommendations from these.
Yes, we really do. Ooh, it's short. That's always a bonus for me.
Hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Tony, it's a black hole because I kind of plan for Victober year round, but now I feel like it's okay to say that you're planning for Victober. I feel like we're in a safe time span that it's really close. But last year I filmed videos in July for Victober.
Wow.
I'm not right. Like it's crazy at this point. It's an obsession. Victober is a lifestyle.
It is a lifestyle, yes.
Yeah, Penny. Hopefully you can get through it.
Mm.
Maybe this is the worst one that we're all having trouble with it. Yeah. But I don't mean to say this like in a bad way, but Christy, I feel like you would like the series.
Really?
I
Maybe I
think
should try it.
specifically the first book has like an interesting religious conversation that I think you would
Ooh.
appreciate. Like they're very quiet, gentle books, but they're
Mhm.
happy. Like they're happy
Mhm.
in a way that I think a lot of Victorian books are not.
Okay.
So sometimes that's what I need.
Is Barchester Towers the first one?
I think it's the second. I think
The second
the warden was
war.
the first
I
one.
do want to read The Warden because I remember hearing your review of it and thinking, I think I would like that.
I think you would. It's really cute. I loved that one, but it was
Okay.
short, and it
Mm,
seems like all the other ones are so big.
I will download it then.
Okay, Matt's heard the
Okay.
way we live now. It's Christy. What are your
I'm
thoughts?
listening to that one currently.
And it's interesting so far. You said.
Yeah, I like it so far. I haven't gotten super far yet because I just have. When you're a part of Kate Howe's book clubs and you're a slow reader, basically your whole TBR is Kate Howe's book clubs.
Yeah,
So I'm trying to fit things in the cracks in between.
that is so funny that she said that. Why do we all have a problem with Barchester Towers?
That's good to know, though. I
That's
feel
like
like for all of us.
I started to say that's like five people that we know of.
Yeah.
Oh, Tony is reading for a prize, the Michael Murphy Memorial
Ah,
Prize. That's
awesome.
awesome.
You are like a prize. You're like the ideal dream reader for all of these prizes. Like you actually read all their lists.
People who can read for prizes and keep up with it, that is beyond me. Like that's really talent.
It really is.
Hi. Oh, Belinda.
Hello. Nice.
I understand.
It does make a difference if you own it. It
Yeah.
does kind of make you want to at least try.
It feels like it looks you in the eye a little bit. Like, yes, Nettle and Bone, Tony, is so good. That's her best one, I think.
Mm.
Yes. See, Stephanie, I think Nettle and Bone is the one you would like. Oh, I've heard good things about Hild.
Hmm.
I feel like somebody else mentioned that on one of these streams.
They did. Yes. That's one that's staring at me because I own a copy.
Hello.
Hello.
See, Stephanie
Thank you.
agrees.
Okay, Stephanie knows my taste, so yeah, I don't know. Everybody else knows my taste better than I do. It's crazy.
Wow, and that is so neat. I kind of hope he wins then. That would be really cool.
Wow. That's surprising that they don't have more. Because in like youth literature, it's really frequently common, it seems like, that books will win multiple awards. Or maybe they win the honors more frequently than the actual awards. I don't know. That's
That's
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah. It's like all the youth awards are on the same page.
Ooh,
Ooh, cool. Reading with Dia is such a great experience.
yes.
Ooh,
Ooh, that sounds really interesting.
that does. The title, man. Fascinating.
This is true.
Mm.
But to me, the Warden is the best. I've DNF'd everything else I've tried to read from him.
Oh,
I
really?
don't know that he's for me. I think he's not for me, but I don't know. Maybe I'll force myself. It's sad when you know somebody has like a really big backlist, so that's kind of exciting, and then you think that you probably don't get on with them that well.
Yeah,
Disappointing.
that is.
Oh, I didn't know it was
Oh,
getting a sequel
wow.
after
That's
so
interesting.
long.
Yeah. Doesn't that just make you want to pick it up right now?
Yes, it does. It really does.
This becomes Hild reading sprints.
Yes. Let's all read Hild.
Yep.
Book club now. We now have a book club reading Hild.
Yep.
I understand.
Yeah. I didn't until last month, or was it this month?
Oh,
I
that's
don't know.
right. That was your
Yeah.
first one, the Belton Estate.
Yeah. It was super fun. Super fun.
Maybe that's really more what I need to try from him is not the series, but a standalone.
Yeah, that's my preference. But you're pretty good about series. Like, I feel like you read series more, maybe more modern series though. I don't know. You would probably be better at it than me. I never continue with series.
I don't blame you. It's too much now.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wow. That is fascinating.
I want to try Demon Copperhead, but again, that's one I don't know if I would like it.
Yeah. I know Alana loved it, Alana Estelle, but
I love David Copperfield. So
oh,
the fact that
okay.
it's kind of a play, I don't know. I don't actually know if I like David Copperfield or not. I'll be honest with y'all. As shallow, I listened to the Richard Armitage audiobook, and I
You
have no,
like Richard
I
Armitage.
do. Oh my gosh, he can do no wrong by me.
Yes. That's what we can say for sure.
Yes, his voice is amazing. That's true that poetry is a shorter read, but I feel like
Mm-hmm.
it's denser.
Yeah.
Modern poetry is a loss for me.
You
Every time I try
prefer,
to read modern poetry, I'm going, "What are they talking about?"
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
guilty of that too, Matt.
Same. I was just gonna try reading, like finishing some fantasy books, like in a series for reading like a friend. I won't say who because I don't want to spoil it. But she was
Ooh,
like, don't do it. It's been too long. You don't pick it up here after years, you know. So I'm not anymore.
I'm curious to know what series it was.
So oh what hmm. I do yeah, let me look up his name. Hang on.
Yes, tell us to
I
put them
will.
on the spot.
Because I liked the first one, but it was kind of like work to read it, which for me is like not really my fantasy vibe. I don't really want to feel like I have to work for it.
Yeah.
I might have deleted it off of here because she told me not to read it. A Betrayal in Winter is the one I was going to read. That's by Daniel Abraham.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first one, whatever it was, it was good. But yeah,
And it's been a long time.
it's been a long time.
Hi, Mimi. You're not late. We haven't started to sprint yet. So we've been excited about everyone else's TBR.
Yes.
Okay, Tony, I'm going to write that down. A change in the air. Okay,
Mm.
writing it down.
I'm grabbing the warden, even
Ooh.
though I'm still in the middle of this is how we live now.
Well, the warden was short, so maybe you'll feel like you got a win.
Yes. Ah, it's on hold by everybody. Apparently, everybody likes it because it's on hold still.
Wow. That's wild, really.
Yeah. And it's not like the there's some narrators that I know are so popular. Like if there was a Richard Armitage version of it, it probably would be.
I've
Like
read things that he narrated I wasn't interested in. I just knew he was the narrator.
hmm.
I want to try the Becky Chambers robot novellas. And Christy, I haven't read them, but I also feel like they're going to be your vibe.
Really?
Mhm. Just from what people have said,
Hmm.
also seems kind of cozy, but like
Hmm.
dealing with deep themes.
Maybe that would be up my alley. I
Yeah.
mean, I like sci-fi with deep themes.
The Long Price Quartet books. I have that on my TBR.
Yes, thank you. That's what they're called.
Oh, Penny. Okay. I'll take this as gospel that it would be my jam. Okay. I need to try those. As Christy gives them up,
Yes,
I start them.
that's so typical of us. Opposites as always.
Yes. And I think you could get into the Priory of the Orange Tree if you like historical fiction. It wasn't that dense of a fantasy to me. I actually think it would be kind of a good one to start with because it felt very historical in places,
Mm.
which I thought made it fun.
Okay.
Stephanie loves the robot novellas.
Getting recommendations.
Oh, Christy, this is a good recommendation for you. A History of Christianity. I have this on my
Mm.
Kindle, and I've had it on my Kindle, I think, for 5 years. And it's so long. Like, that's why I won't I'm like, "Oh, I should pick this one up."
I
And I
know.
never do because it's very long, so that's a feat.
I'm always like attracted by long books because they feel like so comprehensive and authoritative. But then finishing them, is that a thing that's gonna happen? I don't know.
Yeah.
Depends. But that does sound really fascinating.
Penny thinks she would love them if you reread book 1 of the Long Price Quartet.
I do not see myself rereading it. I'm sorry, Penny. I probably would, but I'm not really. I don't have a lot of stamina when it comes to these things.
I understand. Well, should we get started?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. We typically like a long sprint. We like to do it for 30 minutes. So I hope that's okay with y'all. We will be going, as always, from a weird time. Let's go from 52 to 22. Oh, we have to do math on these, don't we? Every
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Hard math.
Well done.
All right. Good luck, everyone.
Yes.
We can
Fighting.
do it.
Yes, we can.
Welcome back. How did everyone do?
So I picked up Joan of Arc by Helen Castor again, and I just reread the prologue, and I was trying to get in my head all the names of the nobility that are involved in the 100 Years' War around the time Joan comes into the picture. So that's what I did. How did you do?
I did well too. I have, I think, only 60 pages left. I know you can't see my bookmark because it's white, but I might finish it. In Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong. It is so good.
Yes. I'm so glad it's turning out well for you.
Yes, I'm glad you're reading Helen Castor because I love that biography of Joan of Arc. It's so good.
Tony recommended it, so yeah.
Tony's on the same wavelength as us with nonfiction.
I think so. That's exciting that you've read that one and would recommend it.
It's good. I love Joan of Arc.
I think I will too, whenever we get to her. We haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, on chapter 6.
Nice.
Hey, well,
Hi.
I know how it is. You got into the reading. And also 11%. So you did some listening too.
Yes. Well done.
Hey Lou.
You're not late. We've only had one sprint.
Yes, we've only gotten started.
Yes.
30 minutes on audio.
Nice.
Nice.
Are you knitting, Stephanie?
Hi Natalia.
Hello. Yes.
Wow, 57 pages. That was a lot.
Yeah. In 30 minutes. That's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. That is so true, Tony, because this is a retelling of Antony and Cleopatra by Shakespeare. So I reread it before I read this and I was like, "Oh, how great is Shakespeare?" And then I had to remember Henry VI when he just raked Joan of Arc across the coals for like half the play.
Really?
It was just terrible.
Wow. Because she's cat. Wait, why?
Well, basically because she's a woman who wears men's clothing, and
How offensive.
there were a bunch of like very sexual innuendos about, of course, like about her wearing men's clothing and being in the army with the men.
Of
I mean,
course.
it was part of the course. It's Shakespeare. Everything is a sexual innuendo,
Yes.
but his version of her is bad.
Oh.
When normally I think he gives the women a lot. Of course, he's English, and he was
True.
writing. He was writing kind of near it. So I guess you have to think
That's
probably
true.
probably no one wanted to hear anything good about her.
Probably. I know it's so interesting because in the modern day we look back on her and like pretty much everybody's positive, but closer to the conflict. Yeah, I could understand that.
Stephanie is knitting.
Yes. Knitting and audiobooking. That sounds like a perfect way to like begin the weekend. Although I imagine she probably has one more day of work. Or no, today's Friday. It's not Thursday. So it is the weekend. Yay.
Catherine Chen's Joan of Arc novel was
Ooh.
interesting.
I haven't read that before. I'll have to check it out.
I had issues with it.
Okay.
I feel like the issues that I had I don't know. I feel like I can't even say because I feel like it spoils like what her main idea was with the book. It's
Mm-hmm.
beautifully written. It's really beautifully written,
Okay.
but it's I don't know. I would be interested to know your thoughts, Christy.
Yes. We'll see how far. Really want to read Mark Twain's version of her, but if I love her, maybe I'll read more.
Yes, I want to read Mark Twain's too because I feel like he thought that was like his greatest book he ever wrote. And
Really?
nobody talked about it. And I think he was really, really proud of it, all the research that he did for it.
I'm sure it was a lot of research. Have you read that one?
No, I need to. I feel like I have it on audio somewhere. I think my library has it, and it was super
Mm.
long.
Are you a Mark Twain fan? Not really?
I'm not the one. I feel like I've only read two things from him, and I it was Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn, and
Not for you?
not for me, not for me. But of course I read them in school, so
Yeah.
that
We
sometimes
read
sucks the joy.
I couldn't believe we read Huckleberry Finn 3 times in school. I read it 3 times in school. I was like,
Yes,
nobody needs to read it this many times
yes.
within a couple years.
That's the way we did the Odyssey. I think we read the Odyssey like nearly every year in high school and in college. And I said, it isn't that good. It's not. It's not. It's not that good. Even my favorite books of all time, I don't need to read them that often. I mean,
So true.
the same school setting up the curriculum wanted you to read something multiple times. It's mind boggling to me.
Yeah.
Tony, I think you're right.
That makes sense.
Because Margaret of Anjou also had a bad rap in the Wars of the Roses plays he did. But
Mm.
she was a queen. She also wore armor in the play. I thought he kind of liked that. And Faye, yes, that's my
Yes.
question. Didn't he like that? And I was thinking this when I was rereading Anthony and Cleopatra last week before I read this book. I was like, oh wow, the women are so good in Shakespeare 9 times out of 10. And then I remembered that men played all the roles. And
Mm.
like they would have tried to get like a very young guy to play like the main female character because he would have a lot of lines as her. And
Mm.
so then I thought, is Shakespeare really as great with women as I thought because he's still writing the part for a man? I don't know. It's interesting.
True. That is a good thought too.
He still is a brilliant, brilliant writer.
Yes.
But reviews are mixed on Catherine
Mm.
Chen's Joan. Yeah, yeah. It's not a very um, religious version of Joan of Arc, let's say.
Oh,
Like the religion
interesting.
is kind of taken out of it, and I have a big issue with that because that's like who she was. I think even if you're not religious, she was.
And to everybody around her, that was the context. That's something Ellen Castor's talking about in the very beginning of the book. That's the context that she was living in and was understood in. So it's a little bit pointless to look at it with our interpretation from the
Yeah,
modern day.
yeah. The interesting thing is, like, if you read the trial stuff, because her trial, like, all the paperwork survives. And the question is not, is she really hearing voices or not?
Mhm.
Like, is she mentally ill or not? It's, do these voices come from heaven
Or
or do
from
they come from hell? We know
right,
she's hearing them and we believe what she says. Like, that was the medieval mind.
right, right.
So you can't, I don't really think she's a figure that translates well to the modern day. I think it's hard because we just don't interact with religion on the same level. So it's
Yeah.
hard to fathom like what she was.
Mhm.
She's super cool.
Yes.
That's interesting, Lou. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I'm curious too.
And let us know if you try it, if you like it. It was very beautifully written. Ooh, the Song of Bernadette. I know very little about many of the saints. I wish that I knew
I
more.
don't either. That's
That's
what I wanted to do this year because I was like, I know like a couple mystics.
yeah.
That's it.
I know like some of the ancient saints, like some of the first saints,
Mhm.
and that's about it.
Right.
I've never really moved into the medieval period.
Mm.
Oh, Lou likes that. I know Lou is Catholic, so Lou,
Ah,
recommend us some books on the saints.
yes,
We are
please.
Protestants.
Yeah.
We know nothing of the saints. We would like to know more.
All of my recommendations come from Emma.
Yes, she's great. Like I've learned so much from Emma.
Yes.
That's going to be interesting.
Ooh. That I need to read.
Yeah, Penguin's really killing it on these anthologies lately.
What else have they been coming out with?
They had like the Book of Hell last year or the year before, and it was just like
Really?
instances where hell was discussed in literature and different versions of the afterlife. And then I think they did one on heaven the
Wow.
same way.
Oh,
I think that
that's
was fun.
fascinating. Thank you. Somebody understands that there's interest in religion in academia.
I own Catherine Harrison's Joan of Arc, and I haven't read it yet. That's also, I've heard good things about that. Oh, they're reading Twain's Joan of Arc book.
Ooh, nice.
That's interesting to have like never heard of it before. I'd never heard of it before the past couple of years, and now I feel like I hear it everywhere. And now I'm hearing that they're teaching it in schools.
I know.
It's funny how that is. Oh, Lou enjoyed it.
Oh, good. That's exciting.
Mary Gordon's Joan of Arc is wonderful. That sounds good.
Yeah. We have some Jones scholars here.
Do. I'm glad we're in a circle of people who love Joan. I love her.
Yes.
Oh, St. Teresa
Ooh,
from Middlemarch. I need to
nice.
start writing this stuff down.
Yeah.
Tom would be the person. You're correct, Lou. Maybe
Yes.
if we all go over to Tom's channel and we
And
suggest a video to him, he'll do it.
yes. That is a good suggestion. He's
Oh,
killing it lately with his ideas for videos.
he is. He's so creative.
Yes. Sorry, go ahead.
This is an interesting question. Do you have a favorite hymn song?
Oh, I just love every hymn I hear. We don't really sing. Well, my problem is I haven't been able to go to church regularly for years. And growing up, we didn't really sing that many. We sang like Amazing Grace.
Well, that's
Yeah,
always a banger.
it is. It's great.
Mhm.
But I pretty much always love the lyrics. They're all great.
I do
What
too.
about
I
you?
I like O Come Emmanuel.
Mm.
That is one of my favorite songs because I love when people get to chant in a song. It's a
Uh,
hard song to sing, so maybe it shouldn't really be my favorite because I don't think I could sing it. I have to
mhm.
sing songs that are very low. If Johnny Cash could sing it, that's about where I can get. But that's one of my favorites. And I heard monks sing O Come Emmanuel. One of
Wow.
the last times that I went to Italy, like the monks came out and they chanted behind us at a Catholic service. It was incredible.
Wow.
It was amazing.
That sounds amazing.
But Amazing Grace is good. Here in the South, everyone's like, I don't like that because they play it at funerals. I think it's
Oh,
like a standard funeral song here in the South. But It's a hopeful song.
Yes.
Listen to it. Listen to it more. This is interesting, Tony. The Private Lives of the Saints. Oh, in Anglo-Saxon England, then I'm set up to like it.
Oh, Julian of Norwich. That's one of the ones that I've read. Her, like,
Sh-
is it Revelations of Divine Love? I read that one.
She's a mystic, isn't she?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Mm.
I love all that stuff.
Of course, Tony would have a recommendation.
Tony reads a lot of nonfiction. The homeschool curriculum recommends that Joan of Arc book. That is so
Ooh,
interesting.
that is. I feel like that is one really nice thing about homeschool. You could kind of pick different
Mhm.
books. Like when I was in public school, we just pretty much read like Shakespeare and then a bunch of American literature, which was fine, but I didn't like American literature. You know, it's too modern for me when I was a
Yeah.
kid.
We have a lot of Amazing Grace fans.
Yes.
I mean, it is. Wonder if that dude knew, like when he wrote that, he was like, "I'm writing one of the greatest songs of all time." You know, he was like,
Yeah.
"This is a good one."
I feel like people who write a lot. Is he one of the songwriters who wrote like quite a lot?
I think so. I think you're right.
I feel like people who write that much, it's like us with videos. We don't know what's going to take off.
Well, that's true. I sympathize with him then. He probably didn't know. He was like, "I'm just gonna put this out there."
Here's today's hymn.
Holy, Holy, Holy is also a good song.
Mm-hmm. I guess there are a lot of hymns that I did sing growing up, but I just don't know them all by name.
Blue, I Did Cry.
Mm.
I mean, I'm all about some monks chanting. There's something about like when a group of people all does the same thing at once, particularly singing. I think that's really moving.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something about it. Oh, Come, O Come Emmanuel is also, I guess, they're really just singing the prophecy of Isaiah. So they're really just singing scripture. But that is so good. It's so good live, but it's very hard to sing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a reason why most of the time we don't sing it at church. We let the choir sing it.
Do you guys have a choir?
We do.
Wow, that is really cool.
But I can't sing, so I'm not in the choir.
Same, same. I had just looked up the lives of the saints. I was looking up the one Tony recommended,
Oh,
and
yeah.
what came up, of course, was Lee Bardugo's book. So that was funny.
She does get it, though, because her saints are so interesting.
Mm.
Ooh, Spanish. That's interesting.
That is interesting. I feel like there's a lot of young adult authors, at least that I sort of read growing up, that had some interest in religion. Like there was Stephanie Meyer, whose main vampire love interest was like very concerned about the immortal soul. And then there was oh dang, we were just I don't know. There was more that I was thinking of, but they just fled my mind.
I know. And it always happens when we're live. It's like you can't think of anything.
That's so true. Oh, Cassandra Clare was one. Like the
Yeah,
Shadow
the
Hunters are
Shadow
the Demon
Hunters.
Hunters. And then I feel like Maggie Stiefvater wrote some that had religion in them. So it's a deep well.
It is. I have not.
Ooh, I
I have
haven't.
not seen the movie. I've heard that it was really good. It seems like I can picture the guy who was in it.
Yeah, the cover of it is
Yeah. How Great Thou Art, another banger, Faye.
yes, that one. That one I do know.
I love that one, and I love Up From the Grave He Arose. I know that's not really the name of the song, but they go Up From the Grave. I mean, we need to sing that year round, not just at Easter. People will only sing that at Easter. I'm like, y'all, it's a song that we need to be singing year round.
Yes.
Ooh.
Mm.
Now, I've heard a lot about Hildegard of Bingen. That's interesting.
I
I've got a
did.
lot to do. We've got a lot of reading we have to do, Christy.
Yes, this comment section is like super. I mean, wow, so many recommendations.
How Great Thou Art. Yes.
Mhm.
I need to reread Augustine's Confessions because I didn't take to him. But I felt bad because I feel like everyone just loves him. And then not to put her on the spot, I don't want to call out Faith from Faith and Books. She told me she also didn't really like St. Augustine as a person. She thought he was kind of arrogant. I said, "Oh, is that what my problem was with him?" But I think I had a bad translation. I really do. So
Mm,
I'm gonna try him again.
all
That
right.
that was very philosophical. Like it was really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Did you read it, Christy? Because it's
I
dense.
I read some of it when I was a teenager, but I need to actually read it as an adult.
Penny, I like this. So,
This is what I was laughing about.
yeah, this is not the gift God gave me was not to sing. So you don't have to be a perfect singer. My motto in life.
Thank goodness there are people who can sing.
Ooh, I've never
Nice.
heard of this.
Dawn of the Cross. Goodness, guys.
Ooh, I know I'll like her because I'm a big fan of the Anglo Saxons. Janina Ramirez.
Yes.
Okay, the Penguin Hildegard is really great. I am adding it to my TBR.
Penguin on it again.
Ooh, that's probably more helpful because it seems like what I had was a used copy, and I have no
Mm.
idea where I picked it up or when it was like when it was published. I think it was a really old. I feel bad. I mean, like he's like one of the giants of Christianity, and then you were like, I didn't like him. I, you
Our
know,
pastor was just talking about him as probably because he was so Roman, he was the one who kind of cast, I guess, a disapproving light on having women in like authority positions in the church, which was fascinating because he was a Roman, and a sex addict. So, yeah.
yeah, he's straight up about that. Like that's one thing I have to admire about him.
Mm.
Again, we were just saying this beforehand. We were talking about somebody, some ancient, who like wrote down his indigestion for us all to know 2,000 years later. And I mean, you can't know when you write anything down that it's going to become a classic. But can you imagine like writing your whole life story like that and we're still reading it? And people talk about it every day. I remember his past
Wild.
with sex addiction. I mean, and he says it like he says that that's good for him. He was
Yeah.
honest.
Yes.
Oh, good. Everyone is talking about Translations.
Another
Yes.
good topic.
Saul, who became
Who
Paul.
became Paul?
Yes. Well, y'all, this has been a great discussion. We got to
Mm-hmm.
talk about Joan of Arc. We got
Yeah.
to talk about Gregorian chanting, which are
Yes.
two of my favorite topics. So, are
And
we?
so many book recommendations.
Yes, a lot of book recommendations. I'm gonna have to use the next sprint to get on Goodreads and add everything to my TBR. Do we want to sprint again? Are y'all ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Yes. Let's do it. Time for math.
Yeah, time for math. I'm going. Girl math. It's not great. For simplicity's sake, it'll be a 32-minute sprint. How about that? Because
Okay.
I can do 50 to 20.
Yes.
All
That
right,
sounds
y'all. Good luck. I think we can do it.
yes, definitely.
Some of us are nearing the end of our thing, so maybe we'll finish something in this sprint. That would be great.
Yes. All right. Fighting.
All right. Good luck, everyone. Welcome back. How did everyone do?
Oh, I'm loving this biography. It's so good. How did you do?
I finished my book.
Whoa.
Finished it, and it was really good.
Yes. That's awesome. Is this her second book? Or how many books does she have out? Or second? Is this like a. No, because she has like. How many books does she have out? Do you know?
I know this is going to be a trilogy, and I know she has one other duology, so this might just be the third book that she's done.
Okay. Is
But
the other. Is the duology the one. These Violent Delights?
yeah,
Okay. So this is like starting a new trilogy.
yes.
Okay. That's
It's
exciting.
it's interesting because These Violent Delights was like very straightforward that it was a Romeo and Juliet retelling and you could tell like who everybody was. In
Mm-hmm.
this, for it to be a trilogy, they've already moved past like the big events of Antony and Cleopatra, some of them. And
Oh.
like some people are dead now that I think were pretty major characters in the play. So I think she's really messed with the timeline in this. I'm okay with it because it's really good.
Okay. Interesting. So some events might still be happening in the future for the sake of this trilogy.
I'm thinking so. I love a
Different.
good Shakespeare retelling.
Yes. That's exciting. So your favorite character isn't dead, is are they?
No, thank
Oh
goodness.
good. Because sometimes that happens too.
Yeah, and that's always the worst.
Yes. Yay. Well, good job.
Yes, a Tony finished too.
Yay.
Go Tony. Wow, Stephanie finished Anne.
Woo.
Yay, go us. This was a really
Wow.
great sprint.
Yes. Yes.
Fun.
Nice.
Ooh.
The in the back of the book, if at least the version I had, C.S. Lewis had included like a 1 page or 3 page, version of the myth. And I didn't know that until I finished the book, and I was so confused throughout the whole thing. So maybe check at the back of the book and see if you want to read the myth first. He might have a version back there for you to read.
That's interesting. That's one of my favorite myths. That's one of the best romantic myths.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of horrible things are going on in that myth, so I feel like that's very unique for Greek myth.
Yes.
Ooh, go Lou.
Yes. Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yay.
Nice. Wow. Everybody did great.
Yes, we've all made a lot of progress.
Yes.
I'm glad we're all enjoying what we're reading. I'm glad you're enjoying your biography.
Yes. I feel like I'm finally in a groove with it. Sometimes with nonfiction, if I can just get into a groove with it and I have enough hours in one day, I can actually get pretty far in it. So I'm going to keep reading it for the rest of the evening.
Yes. Have you drawn like a family tree or like I don't know, like a graph of basically everybody who was involved? Because it seems like it was a lot of people with the same name or with similar names in the Hundred Years' War.
Yeah. I feel like so usually what I do, this is what I've done with classics, is I will highlight people in blue like the first time they crop up, along with like a short descriptor that will try to help me remember it, and then I can just on the ebook search again for their names to double check, oh, have I met this person before? So I'm planning to do the same thing in this book. Because I
That is
don't
a
even know
really
the
good idea.
kings.
That is such a
Yeah.
smart idea.
Thank you. Thank you. It was survival.
I did reading planning. Well, that's
Yep.
productive. That needed to get done.
Yes.
Will there be another sprint?
Ooh,
I'm up for it if y'all are.
I am.
All right.
Yay.
Oh, good. She'll check out. She'll check that out. The
Yeah,
Pelican.
good. I hope that's helpful. I wished that I had known the myth was in the back of the book because I was so confused the whole time.
Starting the final part of Anna Karenina. I remember feeling the same way.
Oh, well done. That's another long one.
Yes, that'll really feel good. When you finish it, you'll feel really good.
Yes.
That is such a good idea. I need to do that.
Mm, it's so helpful. Thanks for coming.
Yes, thanks for coming.
We love you, Stephanie.
Get some good sleep.
Yes. Have a good weekend. What are you going to do next for your next sprint?
I know. Now I have to get on my Kindle and look around, and that'll be fun.
Yes. How many pages did you have left when we started tonight?
I think I think it might have been 120.
Wow.
So I don't think it was that bad. This was like a really pacey book.
Mm.
So you just kept wanting to turn the pages. It was really interesting. The world was really interesting.
I wouldn't have expected there to be a magic system in a
Yeah,
Shakespeare line.
they
So that's
can
really
jump into someone else's body. So like this is like
wow.
body swapping. Like you can jump into someone else's body. And so there was a lot of like, well, there actually really wasn't. But I thought there would be more talk about like consent.
Yeah.
That like bodies were like very much just a commodity. It was very interesting. It felt very sci-fi to be a fantasy. It felt kind of
That is
sci-fi to
interesting.
me.
There's another sci-fi book that I read that was like really similar by Octavia Butler. Let me see if I can find out what it was. But it was like that where there was a character who had just lived like since like the beginning of time and he would just steal people's bodies. And basically that's how he would just live in their bodies.
Wow.
I don't remember if he was like a god or let me see if I can Wild Seed. It was so good. It was really interesting.
That sounds very similar to this because that was something they talked about was like the possibility that you could just jump from one body to another when you got to the end of your life. But that nobody had attempted it before. I said, "Oh yeah, sure. This is a trilogy. Immortal is in the title."
This is only the beginning.
That sounds so cozy though that it's raining at 2:30 in the morning. It is late for you. I'm sorry, Tony. We can do a shorter sprint.
Yes, we can, if that would help. Yay, welcome.
Welcome. Listening during sprints must be so productive because you can do other things. So the sprint is like doubly productive for you. If you're doing
Yes.
chores or something like that while you're listening to a book.
2x.
Yes.
Good night, Penny.
Night, Penny. All right. Well, maybe since people are heading out, we can do a shorter sprint. Are you good
Yeah,
with that?
sure. Yeah.
What should we do? Should we do 15 minutes or 20?
Hmm. Mhm. Okay. Well, I like 20.
Okay.
But hey, I'm
I do
also
too.
15.
Let's do 20. And this is a decent time to do it because I
Yes.
don't have to do hard math. All right. Good luck, everyone.
Perfect. Awesome.
All right, welcome back. How did everyone do on this last sprint?
Pretty good. I didn't get super far because I went and got my dinner, but I read a little more. We're getting into the Duke of Burgundy and how he, I guess, everybody is considering blaming him at this point for France's loss because of his sins of betrayal and killing a rival. So, yeah.
Drama.
Yes, it is drama. How was what did you pick up?
I am reading Thorn Hedge by T. Kingfisher, which is a novella that is a retelling of Sleeping Beauty.
Fun.
Yes, it's fun. It's really cute so far.
Yay.
So it's very short. She does a lot of novellas.
Mm-hmm.
It feels good to read something short every now and again so that you have a win.
Yes. Oh, that's so fun. That's like one of my favorite Disney movies, but I've never read any of the original stuff. But I
That's
love
one.
it because of the dragon, of course.
Yes, that's one of the best Disney movies to me. I love Sleeping Beauty.
Yes. Maleficent. Gotta
Yes.
love her.
Faye read 18 pages of iRobot.
Well done.
Go Faye.
Mm-hmm.
5% of the bee sting. On to another prize long list. My mouse is acting so funny. It won't let me like click on things. 6.5 chapters. Good for you.
Yes.
That's impressive.
Yes, I know. For a 20-minute sprint.
Yeah. Well, this was really fun.
Yes. Thank you so much for hosting.
Yes. Thanks for coming as always. These were really productive. Again, I think we always say that. I feel like we get a lot done every time we do this.
Yes. It really helps me because then later in the evening, which is like my prime reading time, I've already done the hard work of getting my head into it. And then I could just speed read the rest of the night.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Thank you so much for coming, guys.
Yes. Thanks, y'all.
I am Maximus. That's a great name.
Yes. I'm sure it is time for bed for you, Tony. Ugh, 3
Yes.
a.m. Yes, sadly, we are at the end of the stream.
Yes. Thanks for saying hi.
But yes, thanks for coming. But I had fun as always. So thanks,
Yes.
y'all. But
Yes.
we will be on your channel next month.
Yes.
So
I promise we'll schedule a date soon and let you guys know.
yes, we never know. We always kind of play it by ear, and we've been doing Thursdays, but this wound up being on a Friday. So you
Yes.
never know with us.
Yeah.
It's
That was
just
the one consistency thing we had going. Once a month on Thursdays, and now we switched it up.
yeah, now we've gone wild. It was like the first week we did really well. We were always within the first few days of the month.
Yes.
Now it's the 18th. But thanks again for coming. We will see you next month over on Christy's channel. So
Yes.
bye.
Bye.